Okay, well, Joe, how did we get here that we are talking now really about the end of the season rather than getting ready for the postseason?
Yeah, I just finally hit that hot streak. I think we've played a little better baseball. I think we've played better team baseball, and I think ultimately we're just executing a little better than we have, a majority of the year. There's probably a little bit of a sense of relief to a lot of the guys, having some of that pressure removed as we were getting further and further away. That could free some guys up, but ultimately we're just executing at a higher rate.
You have been a culture guy since we first got to know you when you were traded over. How much did the culture develop, change, get better from the start to where you guys are right now?
Yeah, I mean, we had our speed bumps this year. A lot of new guys in the clubhouse, didn't have a good chance during spring training to really get on the same page and build that chemistry throughout spring training and head into the year strong, due to the WBC. So, we felt like we were playing catch up for a lot of the year. We should have been able to get a handle and get a grasp on this thing sooner than we did, but that's the reality of the situation we were in, is that we hadn't, and we were trying to find a way to get out of it. So down the stretch, I think we definitely feel a lot closer and a lot more together on the same page with how we're approaching each game. So we're building some good momentum here ending the year and heading into next year.
Your teammates have made some good comments. I think Fernando said that, not that it was going to be easy, but maybe there was an expectation that with the talent you guys have, it would just be so easy for you guys to go ahead and crush teams. And he said that guys learned their lesson. Is that the sort of perspective that you have as well?
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you can sit here and sulk and pout about, poor us and expect it to be better next year, because we do. I mean, I feel like if you took the same team and we didn't change anything, that we would go out and start the season, we'd have a much better year. But, we can't sit by and let the expectations overpower our work ethic and the approach that we take every day. Coming into the year, I know we had a lot of expectations to slug the ball, to get guys on base and to drive them in with doubles and home runs. And we just weren't getting that production early in the year, and I feel like we didn't do some of the little things, the way that we should have, and ultimately we kind of lost our way. So down the stretch here, you've seen a lot more, unselfish at-bats. We've seen, guys taking the ball out of the bullpen when, they're not expected to, guys filling in roles, and some of these young guys coming up and getting the job done. It's a good feeling. I think it's an eye-opener for a lot of us that have been here all the year to see the way that some of these younger guys are approaching the game.
What do you think is the biggest thing that has to change moving forward?
I think we talked about the culture and stuff a lot, this year from the media and the clubhouse. And, I don't think there's a problem with the guys in there. I think it's more an issue of what our expectations are and what standards that we set. I think this year we probably came in a little bit too lax and expecting everyone to kind of just take care of their own job, and I think it's hard to do this game on your own. You got to rely on the guys around you, rely on the staff, trust in your teammates to be able to give up your at bat for the next guy. I just think the expectation that we come in with of how we're going to work and how we're going to execute, the daily plan is going to be the biggest focus.
The manager gets all the blame when things aren't going well. It gets all the credit when things are going right. I think a lot of conversation about the future of Bob Melvin. He's heading into a lame duck season. How is that when you don't? How is it going in the clubhouse when you don't know if the manager is your manager going forward?
Yeah, it's hard, but ultimately the guys on the field are the ones that are playing every day, and we're winning and losing the ball games out there. So obviously a good manager has a lot to do with managing your bullpen and putting the guys in the right spot and giving guys the rest they need and just creating the best opportunity for guys to do well. But we all feel like we have a lot to improve on as players that can really change the outcome. And it's unfortunate that our poor production this year could cost somebody their job, because Bob's one of the best managers I've played for. His communication is some of the best in baseball that I've been around. The way that he uses his guys, the way that he checks in on them and keeps everybody fresh throughout the year. There's a lot of good things that we had this year with Bob, and ultimately we just wish we could have done a little better job.
You're going into your fourth season, right, with the Padres. How inconceivable is that we are talking about another manager change possibly?
Yeah, you don't expect it, but that's kind of what comes. Like I said, if you don't produce on the field, something's got to go, and it usually tends to be the coaching before it is the players. So, you feel responsible in a sense that we could cost somebody their job, but ultimately we got a job to do, whether it's under Bob or somebody else next year. So our preparation can't change.
Manny took a lot of heat recently. How has he dealt with that?
Manny's great. I mean, Manny hasn't changed since last year. He's been the same guy he was last year. I think that the loss and the way that the season went, someone's got to be the fall guy for that, and Manny happens to be that guy. And He spoke to us as a team and cleared things up, and we discussed it as a group in there, and everybody's on a good page with Manny. I don't know how this article came out or if words got twisted, but I don't think anybody in there has this feeling of resentment towards Manny for who he is or what he does.
Did he speak to you guys as a team after it came out?
Yes.
How'd that develop?
Really well. He just called us in. He wanted to take a second and say what he had to say, and I'll leave that in the clubhouse. But he handled it well. That's what a professional does, and that's what the leader of a team does, and Manny's great at that.
Do you think that's going to bring guys even closer together?
Yeah, you hate for it to happen that way. You hope that guys would be able to approach Manny if they have an issue or if they see something that they don't like, which is, again, part of that culture. It's holding each other accountable. It's being able to take criticism and not lash back. So I don't know if guys felt that they couldn't speak to Manny about it, but by no means do I feel like this is falling on Manny's shoulders here.
When does your off season begin?
Yeah, right away. It's already started, really. The time I had down, we kind of figured I could start my off season throwing and training a little bit earlier. So obviously over the last 10 days we've crept back in this thing, so my sights are shifting a little bit towards how can I manage to get myself back in time to be able to get involved a little bit in the postseason should we get there. So over the next couple days, it's kind of pacing it. But, yeah, I don't take much time off in the offseason. I continue throwing throughout. Maybe I'll back off of the lifts and focus a little more on movement and mobility and corrective exercises to get the body back in line. But, we're always working on something. There's not much downtime.
My last question. Tell up-and-coming young athletes, baseball players, about what they can do if they go to your facility.
Yeah, we're all inclusive. It's got PTs, recovery centers, hot and cold tubs. We have about 6,000 square feet of training space, turf strip for speed and agility and running. But it's a place you can come and kind of get an idea of what big league players do on a daily basis and what the routines look like, and hopefully show some of these kids things that they can incorporate in their programs, whether in middle school, high school, college. We have all different kinds of levels of advanced exercises. So come by, check out Symbiotic, and we'll get you guys right.